the topic of today's episode, the theme is studying abroad. And from your point of view, what does a student need to prepare prior to coming to a country like Australia to study?
Okay, it's a great question. And really, one of the key things is to have an open mindset. So you're leaving home, you're leaving a culture that you're fully aware of. So you've studied in Vietnam for 12 years, you understand the food, the culture, the country, then you're about to move to a foreign country. So you need to actually think about living in that city, what's going to be different. You'll have a culture shock in two ways. You'll have a culture shock about studying in a foreign country, and then you'll also have a culture shock about living in that country. So I encourage students to read as much as they possibly can, and to watch movies, watch YouTube, try and absorb as much about that other country as possible. And it's not all about studying at the university, it's actually living in that community. So understand where you're going to live, really understand the feeling of living in that country, and be aware that you may have homesickness, you'll miss your family, you'll miss your buncha, or you will not. You'll have the best time of your life. There won't be any buncha, there won't be any banquet, there may be no cafe suda. So things will be different. So, and I think, yeah, just be prepared for the difference.
The first hurdle before coming to Australia is to get admitted to a university in
Correct.
Australia first. And in my understanding, it's pretty competitive. And Australia has some of the best institutions in the world. So do you have any advice for students aspiring to study at one of these institutions?
Yeah, great question. And really, it's about, to me, a good student is a well-rounded person. So your GPA is important, but not the most important. Yes, you'll need an IELTS of 6.5 or 6 to study in Australia. So IELTS is important, but it's also about you as the person. So make sure you're involved in some sporting activities, or debating clubs, or clubs at your high school, or that you're involved in some sort of other community engagement. So try and be a well-rounded person, not just focused on a perfect 10 out of 10 GPA or IELTS 9.
Yeah.
We want everything in a person. Yeah.